Special thank you to our sponsors of Russ Reels Live, State and Law, Hope 107.9 Radio, and the Pirate Broadcast in Russ Johns. For more information on State and Law and their probate services, go to stateandlaw.com. For more information on Hope Radio and Hope for Life, go to 1079.com. And finally, for more information on Russ Johns and the Pirate Broadcast, go to russjohns.com. Hey everybody, welcome to Russ Reels Live on this Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. I got to remember where I am and what time it is. There you go. So I am so glad that you're all here tonight. And what a blessing this community is. And I'm just so thankful to be here. And as you know, been going through some treatment, had radiation yesterday, and I'm actually, besides being very tired, doing good. And so I'm just so thankful that all of you that are praying for me and that are just supporting me. I just wanted to tell you how much that means to me and how much I appreciate you all. And I'm going to give you all the energy that I have for tonight. But I am blessed because on Russ Reels Live, that is here every Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, for your viewing and listening pleasure. That's right. Not only does it stay here on, is it live, but it also stays on the platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube forever. So you can go back and watch a video podcast, and it converts to audio podcast. So you can listen on iTunes, Spotify, and Amazon, whatever your favorite podcast platform is. But tonight, I am blessed to have my good friend D. Scott Smith and co-host of The Experience Live and The Experience Local and The Experience Backstage. And Scott's amazing. I'm going to bring him right now because he's going to help me with my energy. Hey, Scott, how's it going?
Hey, Russ. Hey, I'm glad you're doing so good. It's been a couple of big hits for you this last week. Whoa, getting choked up. An infusion last week and then radiation yesterday.
Yes. Oh, I tell you, it's definitely a lot. There's a lot going on, but it's okay. You know, I mean, I just manage it and trust God through the process. And I'm just thankful, I'm just thankful that yesterday when I was actually having the radiation done and they strap you down, I was worried about doing what you're just doing, starting to cough and kind of shake. And I thought that probably wouldn't be a good thing because my allergies have been really bad, but they've been winding down. But when they wind down, you get that little bit of tickle and that cough.
Yep.
And I just kept telling myself, I had him play praise and worship music for me. And I'm just worshiping and thinking, dear God, please help me not to cough. And then I hear this voice saying, don't think about coughing because that'll make you cough. So anyway, it was all good.
Well, the nice thing is that there are people around the world who have been praying for you and continue to pray for you and Leah and your whole family as you're going through this process. And so one of the things that we're going to talk to tonight about is, I think, all the support that we need around us, because holistic perspectives and we have experts. We're going to ask them, what does it mean? What does the term holistic mean in terms of coaching? Did you see the way I threw that out there?
Very good. Oh my goodness. That was so good. Joan and Karen are going to love you for that one. Yeah. I think it's interesting because when you're talking about the whole picture, and that's what we're talking about, there's so much that goes into things, the attitude you keep. And let me tell you, everybody, I choose every day, even what I'm going through. And I know all of you have something that you're going through. I choose a good perspective. I choose a positive mindset, even when I don't feel good, even when I don't feel happy, because I have the joy of the Lord in my heart, and just I'm making those choices, right? And I'm telling you that is when the rubber meets the road. And we're going to get into this more, but the rubber meets the road when you are making choices in spite of how you feel, in spite of your circumstances, right, Scott?
Yeah, and avoiding comparison. Yeah. I was just at a chamber event right before this, and I was talking to a gentleman there who is a sports anchor on the weekends, and he's also a personal trainer, and he's got some other things going on. And we were talking about mental health and mental wellness, and he was also emphasizing the dangers of living a life of comparison, because when you do that, you will always lose.
Yeah, that is so true. And, you know, that's where the whole spirit of collaboration over competition comes together. And I think that really speaks into this whole thing of living a holistic lifestyle, because you learn from amazing people like Joan and Karen and Dr. Nupi, people that have great wisdom for you in areas dealing with your health, dealing with your emotions and your emotional well-being, because mental health is a big thing when it comes to what's going on physically and actively in your body and your life as well. And so, hey, before you and I talk of all of the topics, before we get them in, we're going to get them in. But first, I just want to remind everybody a couple quick things. And that is what things should I remind you about? Well, first, you should share this out. Let people know that we're on, because I'm telling you, people need reminders. So please, anybody who's on watching right now, do me a huge favor. Tag your friends, share this out. Let them know that it's coming on, right? That Joan and Karen and Dr. Nupi are coming. So please share this out with them and let them know what's going on. The other thing is, I would love for you to join our YouTube community. And you can just go to russreels.live. That'll take you directly to my YouTube page. And I'm telling you, you want to subscribe to my page. Why? Because my dog and cat are very funny, and they're more popular than I. No, actually, they're on YouTube Shorts. If you want to meet Maddie and Maisie, go there. But the real reason is, on the live tab, all of the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of live stream shows with amazing people like D. Scott Smith, like Joan and Karen, like Dr. Nupi, amazing minds and people that not only can you watch and view, but all of their information is there. You can reach out and connect with them. After Joan and Karen and Nupi are on today, what can you do? If you missed the show, you can go back. You can still connect with them. You can still reach out for them. And so I'm telling you, it's worth it. So go to russreels.live and subscribe. And I would really appreciate that. And with that, I think we're going to get this baby rolling, Scott.
Yeah, absolutely. We laid the groundwork, but now let's get the experts in.
Yeah. And, you know, I got to say, this is a total squirrel, but I got to throw this out there. When you and I were at Oregon State, Scott, there was the Far Side cartoons. And I thought those were hilarious, right? And I was working at the foundation one night looking at these Far Side cartoons. And this one cartoon was, get this baby off the ground. But anybody who knows Far Side, two men were on the back of the neck of babies, and the babies were flying. And they were getting this baby off the ground. It takes literally, it's hilarious. You got to see it. Go to Far Side.
All right. One more distraction. Woodland Park Zoo in Washington is where Gary Larson worked. He got a lot of his ideas for the cartoons from Woodland Park Zoo. They were one of our clients. And so we were up there and we were getting a behind the scenes tour of the zoo. So we're in the aviary. We're back with the Komodo dragon, watching them be fed. And actually, after they took the Komodo dragon out, I got to go into the habitat area of the dragon. Just very incredible. But we went into the snake area, and they have venomous snakes there. And we're on the inside where they have these refrigerators where they keep the anti-venoms in case you get bit.
Oh my goodness.
And those refrigerators were covered with Gary Larson's Far Side cartoons. And almost all of the characters in those cartoons were people that Gary worked with at Woodland Park Zoo.
Wow.
And so they're going like, yeah, that's Larry, and that's Roger, and that's Mary. And
that is so awesome. I never knew that. You learn new things every day. Okay.
All right.
We're going to have to quit getting squirrels.
Take me off the screen.
Squirrel. Okay, here we go. Let's see here. They are both amazing. We're going to bring Joan in first, and then we'll bring in Karen. We're going to bring them in one at a time so they can tell you a little bit about themselves. Here she is, Joan Williams, the one, the only, the most wonderful, both with her sister. They're both wonderful. How's it going, Joan?
First of all, great. First of all, thank you and Scott this evening for inviting us to be here. What a great space. What a wonderful space. You guys are truly amazing. And Russ, when you said, sorry, go ahead.
No, please keep going. Go ahead.
No,
Yeah,
when you said
he's enjoying the compliments, so keep it going.
Go ahead. Keep it coming.
when you said trust God through the process, that's very powerful.
Mm.
Because before I talk about me, I just want to go into that moment that you said trust God through the process, because whatever we might be going through, and everybody who's tuning in live and going to catch on the replay, you have to have something to trust in. Amen. When there is a moment that you might be feeling something, and whatever it is that you're feeling in that moment, it's so important that you can reach for something, whatever your source might be. For me, it's God, you is God, and I sure it's God as well, and everybody, but something to trust, to reach and rely on and hold on to that thing, whatever that is, whatever is your source, that can keep you anchored, that can keep you safe, that you could feel something that, I know that I will be okay in this moment and beyond that. I just want to say that.
Preach it, Joan. Preach it. Come on. The altar call is coming up next. Here we go. All right.
My God.
Well, first off, I'm going to tell you that I am so super excited to see you and Karen coming up here in just a couple of weeks. I'm really excited for that. See you there in New York. Yeah, it's going to be a blessing. But anyway, first, okay, I know how amazing you are. Tell everybody how amazing Joan Williams is. Go ahead.
What are you involved in? Tell us what's going on in your world.
Right, what's going on? Amazing things. I'm Joan Williams. I'm a holistic health and wellness coach, and what we do, well, Karen will tell you what about everything, but what we do, we focus on holistic lifestyle. And as we dive, what a great subject tonight! And as we dive deeper, we will able to go into what is holistic lifestyle. What does that mean? So we focus on the 12 components, mind, body, and spirit, and deeper than that. Because in order to live life, you got to move in a level of alignment, your mind, your body, and your spirit, so that you can show up in the world and be your all, be your best, be your excellent self. Yeah, so we're health coaches. We have written 2 books, Self-Care is Intentional, and also Your Gut and You. And then we also have a magazine as well, which is Start Healthy. If you have not subscribed for that, make sure you do, because it got great stuff, good recipes, and just teaching how to live healthier, because we all can do it a little tip every day to live our life and live strong, live well. And we do much more things. We have our podcast and our radio show. So Karen will tell you more about everything else, but we are just working on our purpose.
Well, as we get ready to bring Karen in here, tell people where you're located, because apparently where you live, there's more than 24 hours in every day. Based on what you just told me. Yeah.
We are in New Jersey and in New York City, both areas.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, I'm going to get Karen in because she's just ready to go. And Karen, woohoo! Hey, Karen. Amazing. The other half of the Amazing Sisters.
How are you guys doing? I was at backstage and I was just listening to both of you talking, and we got to believe in something. Because if we don't believe in something, how can we really walk this path, walk this journey of life?
Right.
We have to have something to anchor us. We need something to hold on to, and once we can have something that we can hold on to, we can rest assured that source, whatever is your source, that source is going to able to facilitate when things are not going right in your life.
Oh my goodness.
So I really enjoyed that conversation you guys had. Just so many Russ said that in spite of all that he's going through at this point in time, he got that source. He has that anchor, you know. And once you have that anchor, you can trust in that anchor, and you can rest assured that you can fulfill yourself every day and show up in the world and still be fully and be present and offer to the world what the world needs and require from you. And it's such a beautiful thing, because living a holistic lifestyle, that is what it shows. You can show up and be all of you. You can show up and you could be present. You could turn up in a room and you can just give all. Look, tonight, you had radiation yesterday and you still show up today, and you show up and you're authentic, and you're bringing the good news to the world to help others who are at this point in time going through some situation in their life. You're helping them to understand, you know what, in spite of what you're going through, once you have an anchor, you can able to fulfill your cup every single day and still show up in the world. That's holistic. That's holistic lifestyle.
Hey, man, that is so good. I'm taking you both to church with me. I'm going to church after this.
Churches come to the airwave right here, Russ.
I tell you, I don't know that my church, they would be going, can you come every week? This is amazing. Okay. No, that is so awesome. So, let's go ahead and dive in. We're waiting a second for Dr. Noopy. And so she'll be coming. She's a hard worker, still working, taking care of patients and all of that. But, I want to dive into this a little bit more. And, Joan, I'm going to go back to you real quick. And that is, what people don't realize, so many aspects. So when we talk holistic, there's so many aspects of your life that are really driving who you are and where you go, right? Because when you're going through something like cancer, for example, it's not just physical. It's a huge mental thing, right? And it's a huge emotional thing. And it drives me to the huge faith thing. I'm telling you, God is number one in my path through this whole thing. So, there's so many things going into this. It's just like when you're, eating food, you're thinking of all the different good things for your body. Well, there's so many good things out of these other areas. Discuss that a little bit, Joan, about why it's so important to be balanced in your holistic approach.
Wow. That's an amazing question. And I'm glad you asked. Why is it so important to be balanced? If we're not balanced, we cannot function. We cannot function. And so balancing is, yes, the physical, the mental aspect. How do we handle that aspect? What are we feeding our minds with? What are we feeding our souls with? What are we feeding our spirit with? Because looking at that from that point is like, as you rightfully said, when you're going through something. So let's say someone is going through something. You got to pause. You got to get quiet and get into that space to remind yourself, staying present. And as we spoke earlier about source and what you're feeding yourself with, your spirituality, right? Feeding yourself in a spiritual way that you can support yourself, that you know that you can reach beyond, as we spoke earlier, reach beyond for your source, whatever that may be. Mentally, support yourself mentally. That is why it is so important to surround ourselves with the right kind of people who can support us, who can hold us up when moments we feel low for whatever reason. We might be going through something. We have people who can support us, who can hold us up, to keep us strong, to keep us solid, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. And then the physical aspect. We got to stay moving. So the level of alignment, every aspect is very important so that we can stay strong. It has to be aligned. And that is how we are. We are in a state of balance. We are in a state of balance when we have all of that, all those tips or all those elements or all those resources in our lives that we can function and show up and elevate and have that vibration. Because if we don't have that, we can't. And then watch how we talk to ourselves too. So go ahead.
Joan, I love this. And I want to bring this over to Karen as we talk about this. So you're really talking about this multifaceted approach, and in so many cases we tend to be very binary. It's this or that, and we talk about work life, right? It's just one or the other. But we know, and we talk about this on our shows regularly, Russ and I, about an integration. It's not a separation. It's not work-life balance. It's work-life integration. And Karen, I want to kind of talk about these different aspects and get serious about what are the actual techniques that you would use, because I want people that are listening to this to say, wow, I'm taking notes because I'm going to go practice that tonight. I'm not going to wait till tomorrow morning. So Karen, pick it up with this multifaceted approach.
Thanks for asking that beautiful question, and before I get any further, I'm Karen Pascal, Holistic Health and Wellness Coach, and I'm a co-author of 2 ebooks with my sister and my daughter, Tremaine Ballers, and it's all about yourself. Living holistically, it's all about you, right? Look at yourself as a container. What are you pouring into that container every day?
Oh.
What are you pouring into this container here every day? What are you pouring into it? Because whatever you put into this container, that's the results you're going to have.
Yeah.
If you put positive stuff as a fuel into this container here, it's only going to react with positiveness for you. Right. Because you always have to remember, we create our beliefs. And when we create our beliefs, it becomes thoughts. And the thoughts become actions. And the actions is what is most important in our lives. So you got to watch your belief system, because that's what you're going to be creating. Also, you've got to have other things in this container as well. That comes up to mindfulness. Are you mindful of the moment? Whatever you're going through at the moment, you step back, you pause, you say, you know what? Okay, fine, I'm going through this. It's like Russ. He stepped back, he paused. Okay, fine, I know I've got to go through this process, but I'm not going to allow this process to consume me. I am going to still show up. He's being mindful of what's happening at the moment, but yet at that moment, his awareness is positivity. That is what he's fueled into his container, the positiveness. Also self-care. How are you taking care of yourself? Your mental, your physical, your spiritual. How are you taking care of that? How are you filling up that aspect of your life? Because all of these are containers within your whole life. That is what makes you up. Are you performing gratitude every day? Are you being grateful for each and every moment of your day? Because that needs to be part of your life. You need to have a gratitude journal. Write down things that you're grateful for. Because when you start to write these things down, you start to see a shift happening within your life. Once you have that gratefulness within you, you're going to see a shift. Automatically, your mind is going to start shifting. And you're going to start to see things happening in your life. Continuous learning. You got to be hungry to be learning things every single day. Because you know what? You want to consume the right type of food so you can able to show up in the world. And as Joan said before, you got to surround yourself with the right kind of people. Because if you're looking to shift yourself from one space to the other space, you got to surround yourself with the right kind of people so they could support you when you need their support and be there for you honest and authentic. Because you don't want people around you who are not honest and authentic. That is what you need for your life. And another thing, adaptability. Whatever you're going through, you got to adapt yourself towards it, but don't allow it to consume you. as I said before, whatever you're going through, you recognize it, you acknowledge it. This is what I'm going through at this point in time, but I'm going to choose positivity to conquer what I am going through at this point in time.
Right.
That is what we have to do. If you want to live a holistic lifestyle and a balanced lifestyle, we got to watch what goes in this container.
And
That's
I'll say,
so important.
Joan is right there. Keep it going. Keep it going.
Yeah, that is so true. And just to add more layers in that, is like you talk about self-care and positivity, but also, what are you holding on to
Biggie.
and not letting go
Biggie.
that is hindering you from being your best?
Yes.
What is it that's standing in the way? What is it that you're not forgiving? What is it that you're not letting go?
Mm-hmm.
Because in order to grow and be and move into the space that you want to be, you got to forgive. Yes, it might hurt you. Someone might have hurt you. A situation might have hurt you. But let it and release it. Release it with love. No judgment. Release with love. At one point in time, it mattered.
There's a process. There's a process of called pragmatic prospection. This is Dr. Gail Ottingen, New York University, Munich University. She did research on this and looked at positive thinking compared to this pragmatic prospection. And positive thinking is just saying, oh, these are the good outcomes that I want. Pragmatic prospection, pragmatic is just practical, prospection is looking forward, right? As retrospection is looking back, introspection looking in, prospection looking forward. So practically looking forward, saying, all right, here's the good things in my life, whatever that is. Then there's a step that says, and what prevented that from happening, and how did you overcome it? And Joan and Karen, this is what I'm hearing from you, that it's everything that's going into that process.
Yes.
Yes.
Let me jump in there real quickly, because I want to say that what I'm going through right now and what my doctors have told me, that my doctors tell me the number one thing going for me is my positive attitude and perspective.
Yes.
So I do push into that. I expect good things to happen, because you know what? I always tell people, a lot of people say, I don't want to get my hopes up. I'm like, get your hopes up. Why not? Why not have hope? Get your hopes up, because sure, if it doesn't happen, oh well, but if you didn't get your hopes up at all, then for sure it wasn't going to happen, right? Because you've already kind of planned out what's going to happen to you. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you're thinking negatively, that's a good share of the time you're going to see negative results. But when you're thinking positively, you're going to see the positive in things. And I think that is so, so true. Right, Karen?
Oh, yes, absolutely, Russ. Again, is that what we focus on expands.
Yeah.
Right? Wherever you're putting your energies, that is what is going to expand.
Exactly.
So if you are focusing on positivity, going through what you're going through right now, that positivity is only going to expand within you and start that healing process, because the positivity is a higher frequency, right? And once you take yourself to that higher frequency, you will able to see the results that you're looking for. When you take yourself to that lower vibration, which is the negativity, you're only going to lower yourself down, because you're going to be so stressed out.
Right.
You're going to be depressed. Anxiety is going to step in. You're not eating right. And so it's a cascade start to happen. So when you fuel yourself up with that positivity, you're only helping yourself to remain on that frequency, and that frequency of healing. And when you remain on that frequency, a lot of things start happening within your life. So again, whatever we're going through, you gotta accept it, harness it, but at a set time, you gotta tell yourself, I can overcome this.
Right.
That is so awesome. So awesome.
Right.
Go ahead, Joan.
Yeah. I think acknowledging is important. When we acknowledge what is at hand, it might be a situation we might be going through. But when you acknowledge it, you process it, and then you work with your modalities, your different modalities, whether it's meditation. And sometimes what really, which is a good thing as well, is a service, is helping others. You go out, you volunteer, whether it's a soup kitchen or whatever, shelters. One of the things that we focus on, we've been doing this before, but this year, 2024, we move in a space of more intentionality. And we live a life of service. We help at soup kitchens, we serve, we go to the shelters, talk to the people, and just put a life, activate hope in those who might be feeling despair or hopeless.
And so, and Karen, I'll bring it over to you again on some of these practical steps. Having a defined morning routine is something that Russ and I both support in practice. I'm a big fan of journaling. I'm just always surrounded by lots of books. I like pen and paper. Let's talk about some of the practical things that people can do.
Yes, and you know what? These practical things that we are talking about, it's nothing that is difficult.
Mm-hmm.
We all can do it.
Exactly.
We all have 24 hours within a day, right? It's just the mindset. When you wake up in the morning, you have to wake up and be intentional of what you want to do for your day.
Right.
That's the goal. You have to be intentional. When you wake up in the morning, it don't have to be a fancy journal. It could be a simple book. It could be a simple notepad. Journal what you're being grateful for.
Mm-hmm.
Sit down in silence. Process your feelings, your emotions that you're going through at that point in time. If you want to set your intentions for the day, you sit down, you set your intentions for the day. Some people say, oh, Karen, I'm busy. Get up 10 minutes or 5 minutes before. Because what you're doing it for you. You're not for nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you choose to do with your life, it's for you. It's for your benefit. So you get up in the morning, you sit with yourself, you journal things that you're grateful for, you set your intentions for the day. If you cannot accomplish all, when the night comes, you can tick off what you accomplish. Again, when you're doing these things, it's all about you. It has nothing to do with nobody else. But you have to wake up and you have to be intentional of what you're doing that day. And before I go, Russ, one of the things myself and Joan say every morning after a meditation, how can we be of service to humanity and provide all the tools that we need to be of service to humanity? That's how we end our meditation. And I can guarantee you, we are being provided with all the tools that we need to be of service to humanity.
I got to tell you all that you may or may not know, I don't have the greatest hearing on things, but I hear great normally on these shows. And when you said that, sometimes my ears mix up words, and it sounded like you were saying at first, we always end our medication with doing this. And I thought, I want that medication. Can I have one of those pills? Can I have that? I want to be of service to people. I'm going to take some medication to be of service. But no, I tell you, I agree with you 100%. And, as we're getting close to wrapping up the show, I wanted to tell you that I can't tell you, you talk about setting your intentions. I do that every morning. I set my mindset, my perspective on my day. I always start, and I'm sure you've all heard this, but I always start my day with 3 things. Number 1, being thankful, being grateful for all that God's given me, my beautiful wife and family, and the ability to get out there and do stuff. Number 2, I give myself a little pep talk. And I say, you know what? God's given me the ability to do what I need to do. I need to get my behind out of bed and get out there and do it. And number 3, I say today's going to be awesome because I choose awesome. I choose awesome. Now, when you walk out the door, something might hit you right in the face, and that may not be awesome. But I can tell you that if you start with that mindset, everything looks better as you go through the day. Because like you have said, you set your intentions on what you want to think about and what you want to do throughout that day. And I'm going to tell everybody one more thing that I think is so important, because self-care is so important when you keep it in the right context. I always put God first every morning, but then I know God wants me to take care of this vessel and do the best that I can. And so when you 2 ladies are talking about it, all about you and taking care of you, after God, it is about taking care of yourself. Because if you do not take care of yourself, you can't be of service to others, your family, your friends, nothing. So you've got to take care of yourself. And that is not selfish, because if you're on an airplane and the mask dropped down and you didn't put one on first, I think it's 12 seconds later, you'll pass out and you'll be of no help to anybody. So you got to take care of yourself so you can be of service and love and help other people. And you 2 are the epitome of that. I know personally in my life what a blessing the 2 of you are to me. I know all the amazing things that you do, and I'm so thankful for both of you. I can't even begin to tell you. And I want to wrap this show up today by having the 2 of you each give how everybody can get in touch with you. And if you have any last little gold nugget you want to let everybody know before we go. And I'm going to start with Joan. Go ahead, Joan.
Well, first of all, thank you, yourself and Scott, so much for having us in this space this evening to share such a great topic, how we can attain and live our best, our true essential self, and walk in our excellence. So we are so grateful for being here and able to share in this moment. You can catch me on LinkedIn or on Facebook. Goes with Joan Williams, Living a Holistic Lifestyle, Body, Mind, and Soul. And that's it. But one thing before I go, I just want to tell everybody who's watching tonight, choose you.
Yes.
Choose you. And when you choose you, activate hope. Activate hope and live a life of hopefulness, being hopeful, and also gratitude. Remember, you're special and you're amazing. Thank you.
Well, you're so amazing. And I want to tell you, this is funny that you bring this up. Actually, ironic that when I come to see the 2 of you in New York, I'm speaking at the Perspectives on Cancer conference. And the theme of my talk is the power of perspective, living a life with hope. Living a life with hope. And I tell you, amazing, amazing. Karen, go ahead. You're up.
I just want to leave with the audience today. Reflect and adjust. Reflect and adjust. You have a choice. And you can sit and pause and reflect and make those adjustments that you need to make with your life. If you want to get in contact with myself and Joan, I am Mind and Body the Holistic Way on LinkedIn, also on Facebook. And we have a YouTube channel, Soul, Light, and Body. You can subscribe. And we have some fabulous episodes every week. Every Wednesday, we have Soul, Light, and Body from 7 to 8. And on Sundays, Enrichment of Mind, Body, and Soul. That is from 7 to 9 p.m. Great guests on. You just got to go sign up, because when you subscribe, you got some fabulous things nuggets you're going to get to fill your cup up. So we just want to thank Russ and thank Scott for inviting us here this evening, because you guys always make us feel so welcome. And thank you so much for doing that. Thank you.
We're so happy to be able to have you on the show, to learn from you, and just be in your presence is fun. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. I tell you, I can't wait to see you both in a couple weeks. And this has been amazing. I just appreciate you both so much. And obviously Noopy was working hard tonight, so we'll catch her another time. But
Right.
I'm gonna say goodbye to both of you and put you in the green room, but hang tight for just a second as we wrap up, okay?
Thank you, Russ and Scott.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank both of you.
Joan.
Yes.
Thank you. So amazing. Oh, those ladies are just amazing.
You know, the wisdom is just wonderful. And I'm glad that they've written books that have captured that and allow people to be able to get it into their hands and I just encourage people to get the paper versions if that is available for you, because there's something about being able to feel it and to take notes in it and refer back to it at a moment's notice. But take care of yourself. Pay attention to your gut. Your gut health is so important. And, you know, we're learning more and more about this as more and more studies come out. And it turns out that this is something that we've neglected as a society.
Yeah, it's true. You're right. Well, listen, I so appreciate you being here, Scott. You're such a blessing to me. It's really a life joy for me to co-host these shows with you and all the amazing people you and I get to speak to. And I just want to remind everybody, please go to russreels.live and subscribe to my YouTube. And also don't forget the Experience Live with Russ and Scott every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and the Experience Local every Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Would love to have you guys join us on that. And until next week here on Russ Reels Live at 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, everybody have a great week and a great life. And we will see you then. Thanks, Scott. Here we
Bye,
go.
y'all.